Lightning and Thunder, Nigeria. In the olden days, thunder and lightning lived on the earth amongst all the other people. But the king made them live at the far end of the town, as far as possible from other people's houses. Thunder was an old mother, and lightning was her son, a ram. Whenever the ram got angry, he used to go about and burn houses and knock down trees. He even did damage on the farms. Whenever Ram did these things, his mother used to call out to him in a very loud voice to stop and not to do any more damage. When he was in a bad temper, he used to do desperate damage. At last, the people could not stand it any longer and complained to the king. They requested the king to banish both lightning and thunder from the earth and make them live in the sky, where they could not cause so much destruction. Ever since, when lightning is angry, it commits damage as before. But you can hear his mother, Thunder, rebuking him and telling him to stop. The herb Mega, Asia. A poor merchant dropped in a village inn to spend the night. He left aside his merchandise and asked the innkeeper to prepare dinner. The merchant had a few items and a couple of coins, but the greedy innkeeper thought, "Why shouldn't I take all his merchandise and money? There's nothing easier than that," said the innkeeper's husband. "Just put some of the herb named Mega in his meal. Everyone who eats the herb forgets something." She put the herb in the merchant's dinner. He ate the meal, thanked the innkeeper, and went to bed. The merchant left the inn early the following morning. When the innkeeper woke up, she went to the merchant's room immediately. But the room was empty. She started to scream at her husband. "What foolishness have you told me about this herb?" The merchant forgot nothing. "Then he must have forgotten something else," said the husband. The innkeeper started thinking, what could have the merchant forgotten? Suddenly, she slapped herself on the forehead and said, "He forgot to pay, you old fool." The Little Fish and the Big Fat Bean, Ukraine. One day, a little fish was out swimming in the river with her mother. The water was clear and warm. The little fish wanted to swim faster and go farther. So she swam on and on till she reached the river bank. She looked, and there, growing on the bank, she saw a large beanstalk, and on the beanstalk a big fat bean. The little fish thought that she had never seen anything so funny. "Hello there, Fatso," she called the bean. "Hello, Midge," the bean called back. The little fish felt very hurt when she was called in that manner. She burst into tears and hurried off to complain to her mother about it. "Perhaps you hurt the bean's feelings yourself in some way," said the mother. "Oh no, mother dear, I didn't." "Well, let's swim back to the bank again, and I'll ask the bean what made him say such a thing. Tell me, Mr. Bean, what made you hurt my little daughter's feelings? Why did you call her Midge? She only got as good as she gave. She called me Fatso, so I called her Midge in return." The Prince, France. Once there was a king who did justice to all his subjects. The king had a son who got good education of arts and science. Everyone asked the prince something. He promised this and that, and then he forgot his promises the next day. For this reason, it was not surprising that even his friends did not attach much importance to his words. One day, the prince and his friends were playing on the bank of a river. They jumped on a rocky promontory in fresh waves. The previous day, there had been a lot of rain, and the river was in spate. The current was very dangerous. This did not prevent the prince away from the bank because he wanted to prove his fearlessness. But the current was too strong. He dived into the water. He called aloud for help. But his friends did not acknowledge the point of danger. Maybe they thought he would laugh at them. None ever saw him again.
Thanks for watching. Do like, share Subscribe to Sahil Book House.